Hi friends, I'm out in my yard and I've come out here to find some sticks for our next project. I brought the cats out here to help, so let's see what we can find for our next sculpture. I think that one's gonna be a little too big, Ray. Let's see what else you can find. Let's see if Dottie will find us some sticks. What do you think, Dottie? Dottie, can you help us find some sticks? Looks like she's too busy eating grass. I don't know, cats. This one looks way too long. Looks like part of a tree branch fell off. We'll have to find some smaller ones. Looks like Ray found one here. You think this is a good one, Ray? Looks a bit long, but I think we can use it. So Cats and I have been in the yard for a little while, and we found this one, well, I should say Ray found this one really big one here. I think we can cut it down and use it for our project. If you can find some shorter ones though, that might be good too. Otherwise, you can have an adult cut it down with some loppers for you. All right, let's bring the cats in and get to work on our sculpture. Hello friends, I'm back in my studio and I brought the branch that Ray found. It's awfully long. If you find something long like this, maybe you can find an adult to help you cut it with some loppers. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down a little bit. I was able to pull off some of the little twiggy pieces with my hands, and maybe some of it you could possibly break with your hands if it is a kind of a dry branch like this. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this down and then I'll show you the rest of the supplies we need to make our sculpture. Let's take a look at the supplies you're going to need. Your sticks that have been cut down to various sizes and various widths. I've got a few interesting pieces that I may or may not use. I left this one cut at a V. You can always go back and cut them some more as you start your project. You'll need scissors, and you'll need some kind of string or yarn. You can use whatever you have laying around. You may even have some embroidery floss that could work. So be creative and think about what it is that you can wrap your sticks in. Maybe it's fabric, maybe it's felt if you don't have string or yarn. So think outside the box and find some cool fibrous materials that you can wrap your sticks in. Once you have your sticks cut out, you're going to look at them and kind of decide, which ones do I want to start with for my project? I'm going to start by picking one that I like, and I'm going to wrap it in yarn, and then I'll go from there. I've picked out a few balls of yarn that I think will go well together. I'm going to choose one of them and tie on the end, and then simply start wrapping my stick. To tie it on, you're going to want to start at an end. You don't need to do the very end, just somewhere towards the end. And tie twice, a double knot. If you want, you can go ahead and just cut off a manageable amount of yarn so you don't have too much you're messing with. From here, I'm going to kind of hold my tail to the stick, and then I'm going to start wrapping it. I'm going to wrap slowly so that I don't ball it all up on top of itself. And I'm just going to wrap this stick and cover it with pretty yarn. At any point you want to stop and switch out your color, you can do that. Or you can just keep using the same yarn. So when you get to the end here and you want to keep wrapping, you can just tie on more of the same string, or you can switch your color at this point, which I think I might do. I'm going to tie these two together by holding them together and then wrapping it around my finger and then looping it through. So let's keep wrapping, and oh, hi Dottie. Let's keep wrapping and see how this goes. I have kind of an interesting V in my stick here, and it's possible I would like to use that. So I could start wrapping this way and combining these together. We could see how that looks. Or maybe I'll just continue to wrap separately. You can experiment. Everybody's stick will be shaped differently, so you may come up with something completely different than what I'm doing. It's important to hold the string as tight as you can. Keep it really tight. So I might just keep wrapping around and see how this goes. I'm just kind of experimenting with this. I could have kept going straight. Now it's a little hard to keep these tight, but that's okay. It's just going to be the look it's going to have. And I did not cut my string off this time. I left it on the ball. So you can do either way. You can limit yourself and just do a little bit, or you can just keep it on the ball and see how far you can go. Okay, I'm going to keep wrapping this stick, and then I'm going to tune back in with you guys once this stick is all wrapped up. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the rest of this little stick here, and then I'm going to look at my other sticks, and I'm going to see how can I start putting them together to make kind of a cool sculpture. Now, I may want to use this one, but I'm wondering if I might want to cut it somewhere. Or maybe I'll use something smaller and see what I can do. I like the curve on this one. So I think what I'll do is I'll wrap these up, and then I'm going to show you how I'll attach them. After I finished wrapping up this last part of my stick, I noticed that these two fit together kind of nicely, and I thought, I wonder if before I start wrapping this stick, if I can go ahead and attach them at this point by wrapping these two together and then veering off over to this stick. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to attempt that. Notice that I am choosing my yarn so that it repeats itself. I'm repeating colors to give it a more cohesive look. So you could opt to glue this together first with hot glue if you wanted, or if you can hold them tightly in your hands, I feel like you can just tie them together a little bit and then start wrapping tightly. So it's not extremely tight here, but that's okay. I'm gonna, in fact, hold my tail together here also. I'm just gonna start wrapping this. And I might even crisscross in this space here. Let's see, maybe I don't need to do that actually. I'm just gonna wrap, 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 double wrap. And then I'm gonna see if I can turn this here for you. And then I'm going to veer off and start getting my yarn going in this little crack here. Now this might take me a minute to feed this through, but I feel like my sticks are nice and tight, which is good. So I'm gonna spend some time getting this nice and secure and wrap this stick down. And now these two are becoming attached. So experiment with your sticks, lay them out and figure out how can you attach them together to make a cool sculpture. I'm gonna get this wrapped up and then I'll show you guys how it looks. I have wrapped this far and I noticed that I have this tail still, which is helpful. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to tie these two together and I'm going to continue wrapping. But first I want to secure this part, these two parts of my stick together best I can. If I could make one suggestion to you guys that I think will be the most helpful is that try to find shorter sticks if you can, because my struggles have been that these sticks are a little bit long and it's hard to the motion of wrapping my arm all the way around it, it's been a little tricky. So I would recommend finding a little bit shorter sticks for your project. So I might come and wrap at it from this direction and I'll just kind of carry on, just kind of securing things. There's really no wrong way to do this. The goal is to just create a sculpture using sticks and yarn and attaching it and see what you come up with. It's going to be kind of a free form sculpture. And I'm hoping it's going to be really fun for you guys. I'm going to keep working on this and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all finished. Hello friends, I'm back and I wanted to show you my completed sculpture. I decided to repeat the yellow a few times to tie it together, and I left a few strings dangling down for kind of a tassel effect. You could certainly add more strings hanging down. There's a lot of cool things you could do with this. I am extremely excited to see what you all come up with, and I will see you all soon for our lesson on sculpture, sticks, and string. Till then, bye-bye.